Hello, Internet. This is E. Schrodinger's cat, and welcome to another episode of The Ripple Effect, Minecraft SMP. Last episode, we had a welcoming stream. It's been a while since I've existed on YouTube forever. A bunch of months, like 6 of them, or more, I don't know. I'm back! I am doing videos again. I was on a hiatus for a while. I'm in a hole somewhere. Spawn is that general direction. This is a hole that I've made in the ground, as per usual. I have this little basic smelter here, just smelting up some glass, because that's a thing it's good to have. I got a bunch of flowers, too, for my decorating needs. And I got all this stuff as a gift, when I joined. And I will not turn it down because I am a small child and I can't play this game very well. So I will take any advantage that I can get as I make my pretty things. I've got an ender chest, I got shulker boxes. Last time we played a lot of mini games. There was a lot of stuff going on. It was a 2-hour stream. 2 hours, cut down to like 35 minutes. But I want to get into some building now that we have this sort of head start. As you can probably tell from the last episode, this is a mid-season server. They've been going for a while. They have a lot of stuff built, so there's already a lot of farms and stuff. I have some interesting ideas. My base theme for this season is going to be surrealism. What a surprise! What a amazing, incredible surprise. Now, a lot of the things that I've done in the past have been surreal, in a sense, in a very abstract sense. I do a lot of abstract stuff. I love fantasy things. I love things that, if it doesn't come out right, I could just make it into a different thing and say I did it that way from the start. But what I want to do for this time is to explore a little bit more of the actual surrealist idea, surrealist movement. Surrealism is a form of art pioneered by a bunch of French guys in the 1920s after World War I, where they basically said that the cause of war and conflict and strife in society is rational thought and the kind of strict rules that, in the case of art, are placed around how to make art look good, what makes a logically good painting, what constitutes art. And they said, we're gonna take objects that have no actual business being together, we're gonna put them together to give a big old middle finger to the rich people. And it's pretty rad. It's a pretty rad movement in art history. Let me show you. Look at this. This is the Google image page for surrealism. Look at that. That's famous. It's a famous one. There's some weird ones in here. Wow, that's a real depiction of modern sexuality. Let me tell you. What's happening there? I don't know. What? Look at that nightmare. I hate when this happens. Wow. That deer looks really bored. I have concerns about this image. There we go. There's an eyeball. Oh god. Oh, next. This image makes me uncomfortable in a way I can't describe. So does this one. Wow. A lot of these. A lot of... Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Look, they're in love. There's a lot of nudity. A lot of nudity here for some reason. Wow. I can't tell if this is allowed on YouTube or not. I genuinely can't tell. This is a famous one. Look at the fame. Well, I think that's allowed on YouTube, but I don't think it should be allowed anywhere, to be perfectly honest. Look, a cat inside of an avocado. That is a perfectly normal and not terrifying or emotionally scarring piece of artwork. That's a tree full of babies. Yeah. Just completely full of babies. Just, if you ever wanted to know where babies come from. See, that's the general idea that I'm going for. Less so the baby tree. So the basic concept of surrealism is to have regular and ordinary, and in the case of 2D painting, photorealistic depictions of objects in completely abstract and nonsensical arrangements. So the things I've done in the past have been largely abstract things that have been representations of a fairly normal, as far as normal can get seen. And what I want to do with this thing is I want to take normal objects and I want to make them in a very strange, ideally not terrifying too much fashion. So I'm gonna have a lot of things that are made of houses, a lot of houses that are made of things, a lot of nonsense. And I think what a rule that I'm going to place upon myself is to not have any traditional structures. So no traditional houses, no traditional or medieval or even fantasy architecture. I want everything to be nonsense. I want every house to be made out of an object that is not normally a house. So I figure for now I will build here, and I want to start building an eyeball. Now you might be wondering, Cat, of all things, why are you building an eyeball into a mountain? And my response to that would be that I thought of it randomly. And I was walking around, and I was struggling real hard to think of something to build. So I said, I'm gonna build the first thing that comes to my head. Because that's, I guess, how I do things now, these days. And that's what came up. That's what my brain gave me. So, if you're upset or you're unhappy with the build choice, call my therapist. Now that I have made a circle, I'm going to do what I call faking it till you make it. Which is to say, I've made enough circles in my time. I'm just gonna wing it. And the first thing you want to do when you start in a circle, alright, is you want to put down some blocks. That's the first thing you do, alright? This is a good tutorial, am I right? In a regular circle, there are no straight lines at any point in the circle. But, because it's a voxel environment where all we have are squares, you pick a number. Ideally, an odd number if you want to have an odd center to your circle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 sounds like a good number. And then, that's your side of the circle. And then, you're going to have another one over there that's also 7 blocks, but in between, you got to do a curve. You got to do 1, 2, 3, and this is kind of arbitrary. It's not arbitrary at all, actually. I just have low standards, but you will get a curve this way. 1, 2, 3, right? Forward 1 block, and then you move forward. 1, 2. Smaller number. 7 here, 3 here, 2 here. And then you could do 2 again, if you feel like it, which I do. Or maybe not. Actually, I don't at all, because it's going to be too big. And then you start doing the opposite. Alright? It's like a curve, right? You're changing your rate of change. Okay? That's some calculus terminology from my calculus learning that I did. So now that you got your 3, you're back to your 7 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you have yourself a curve. And now, with these blocks here, you just copy it to the other 4 corners, and you will have yourself maybe not a perfect circle, but certainly a circular shape. The circle is complete, and I am slightly concerned that it might be too big, but yeah, I'm very concerned that it might be too big. Now it is smaller, and sort of the anatomy of a Minecraft circle, as I call it, is you kind of have your sides of the circle, which is the part where it is the straightest. And you have your corners here, which is the part where it goes least aligned with the sort of the grid of blocks. So, your corners nearly always going to be 1 block, like this. And there's going to be blocks like that. Sometimes it's 2 blocks, but sometimes, most of the time, it's 1 block. And then you got this long flat section, and then it's all like that. And then, to turn it into a sphere, you just gotta do the same thing, except you gotta do it all vertically wise. So you gotta find the place, the middle of it. 1, 2, 3. I've brought this middle bit down to 5 blocks because I thought it would be too big. And you go up like that, right? And you got 2 on that side, 2 on that side. Down, assuming I make a down, which I might not, depending on if I get too lazy. Then, after you do that, hold on, let me back up. You go like this. You remember the pattern that we did before? 1, excuse me, I'm trying to teach the world about circles. Excuse me. I need to do a lot of digging. So you go 1, 2, 3, and then you go forward again. 1, 2, and then it's very dark. Okay, now it's less dark. Great, cool, sweet. And then you kind of reverse it. You kind of reverse it again. I should have cleared this out before I started recording. But you know what? I didn't. And we're here right now. In the moment. Living in the moment. All right, and then we have the one, the corner, as I call it, even though circles don't have corners, they kind of do in a voxel environment. They kind of do have corners. And then you kind of go back. Once you got the 1, you go 2, just follow your pattern all the way through. I don't know if you can see what's going on through here. There's a lot of stone. In retrospect, I probably should have chosen a different block to build the circle out of, but that's okay. I'm gonna finish this. Now we have our framework, I guess. I put it all the way up, like this. And I just have to fill it in, basically. This is the part where a plot program would help you a lot, but I honestly just cannot stand. I cannot stand the process of copying things off of plots.com or any of those. I can't stand it. I just would rather do it myself. For all the struggle and all the time I waste, I must do it. The dome is complete. Half circle complete. I think I will either put a rim around this thing, or if I want to be really gross, I could put like the nerves around it. I don't know if I want to be that gross. I could just put a ring around it. I'm gonna have the people up there. I've been farming wool. I have sheep out there. I have some flowers. I'm gonna make like an iris, I guess. But I need to clear out a lot of this area. I'm contemplating... We're underneath a mountain right now. I'm contemplating digging all the way up there. I could put the beacon underneath the eye. I could have it coming up, and then the iris would be around the little hole where the beacon thing comes out, so it would look like the eye shooting a laser. Oh, it's a fantastic idea I just had right now. It's a fantastic idea. There actually wasn't as much stuff to clear out as I thought there would be. I thought we were on the part of the mountain that was real tall, but we weren't, so we lucked out. And I have got some dark blocks, and I think I'm going to put it here in the center. Okay, this needs to be cleared out more because this is not centered at all. Looked more centered from up there, but wasn't. Oh boy. So I'm going to just design a little pupil. I think I'll do... Actually, now that I think about it, pupils are actually recessed into the eye a little bit, so I should take this down. I know I have shears in my inventory. There they are. Recess it a little bit, like that. And then the cornea will be this layer, and then the rest of it will be white. I'm gonna use a few different kinds of black blocks, mostly because I don't want to go find more black wool. Now, I bought some dyes from a shop, so I have some wool, and I guess pink and purple is a good enough color because it's what I have. It's what I have, I'll be honest. I am going to start working on the iris? I don't know. I want to have a little bit of like a gradient. I don't know. I don't think having it all the same color will look good, but it's also smaller than I envisioned it. So maybe it's just gonna be like this, where it's lighter on the inside and darker on the outside. Maybe I can put something like this around here, like that. Something like that. Let's see, what's this look like from up here? Yeah, I think that'll look pretty good. I think that looks pretty cool. I do think it. I just need to, now I need to move the beacon in here, or rather procrastinate doing it until I feel like doing something I don't want to do. And then what I'm thinking of doing is having this area here be a pretty geometric, circular kind of cutout of the mountain, and then having something on top of here and having like an observation or like some sort of... I know I told myself I'm not doing traditional structures, but something fantasy, surrealist, kind of like a road-ish type representation. It's gonna be really difficult to talk through this whole series, and I'm not that good at talking. Now, I think I want these walls to be a few blocks pushed away from this, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go around the base like this, and I'm gonna make some circular shapes, and then once I do that, I'm gonna go like this, and I'm gonna make another circle. And then I do have another block. I'm gonna go like this, and I'm gonna make another circle. If you already have a circle and you want to make a circle that's slightly bigger and focused on that area without, say, having to go plot it in a program, going around one block at a time with stripes like this will give you a shape that will work for you. You'll have to replace it, obviously, but that's okay. It's temporary, you can use any block you want. If you are doing it this way, you have to keep in mind that instead of how I've lined every outer block with this, if I do the next layer that same way, like this area here will become thicker than this area over here, just because of how blocks are. The distance from this corner to this corner is longer than the distance from this corner to this corner. That's some Pythagorean theorem for you. And it's approximately 1.4 times wider. So what I find to be a good strategy is to every other layer, one layer will be lined up like this, where you don't put a block on the corners, and the next layer will be like this, where you do put a block on the corners like this. And then you can come around with the next layer, such as like this, and this will not have the block on the corner, and that will approximately get you to where this area here will be as thick as this area over here. It'll be a little. The larger your circle is, the more exact you need to be, and the more fiddling you'll need to do. But this is a pretty good rule for reasonably sized circles. Oh, and sometimes you have to put a little bloop out like that on the side here, or this will get to be real flat. Well, that took a long time. The side of this apparently went up all the way to the top of the mountain, so my original fears were correct. But I was able to dig it all out, and it's really hard to see. Because there's a lot of scaffolding that I don't want to take down yet, because I want to decorate this wall in some way. But I think the shape of this, the slope down like that, will be pretty good to put something around. I'm thinking maybe spiraling giant book library shelf all around the thing. I don't actually know if that's a viable option, because I haven't done anything like that ever. So I'm gonna start by making a big spiral, and once I do that, I'm gonna try to put books in, and if it doesn't work out, I'll make them into something else. I'm going to, I guess, just spiral up, all the way up. I'm gonna start here, and because this is the lowest point, and that will make it more better for reasons. I'm just gonna knock out every 3 blocks, like this, and then I'm gonna go up 3 blocks. That's not right. That's not right at all. Like that, and like that. And then I'm going to kind of recess it a little bit, probably back like that amount, and have that curve all the way up. I've gotten up to this point. What I'm basically doing with these steps here as I'm spiraling them around is I started at this point right here. I took this 3 section and I brought it back at a 3x1 angle, and then I kind of made the angle a little steeper and then a little more steep, and then I came to this what I call the corner of the circle, where the segments are basically diagonal, and so I have this area going diagonal, so it's perpendicular to this thing. And then I just did the opposite of that, going up and around. And it's mostly just trial and error. You can be exact about it, but I failed. Honestly, I tried and I failed. So it is approximate. It is approximate spiral. But I don't know where to go from here. I think I need to make this area up here a little bit, not so chaotic and like this. So I need to decide how high I want this, quote, shelf to be. I think it will work pretty well. I will probably need to put another one, like under here, maybe starting over there and kind of winding up this way and maybe stopping. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start doing that because I don't think this will give off bookshelf with just this one and some books. Some books, aka rectangles of terracotta. So another shelf it is. Double spiral accomplished. I think it needs to be, these need to be a little taller. A little bit taller. I imagine the middle bit, maybe like 3 blocks. I've been trying to think of the best way to do this because there isn't really a great way to do it. I think I'm going to put some bark. Not bark, but you know what I mean. That's wood. Here, along the whole thing, three blocks wide, and then I will put stuff on it. Stuff and things. Like planks. To make like a shelf type thing. Yes? I think what I'm gonna do for this outside, I'm gonna put some planks here, and I'm also gonna put some planks here, so it'll be like that. It's mostly to cover up the top. I know I don't actually know if bark is craftable on this server. I haven't tried, but I don't know how that looks. That looks a little weird. Know what I mean? Maybe I could get rid of these outside ones and just have the ones on the top, because the angle and the going upward make that difficult. That's definitely better, and I'll put them on here. I'm gonna clear out anywhere below it that's stone, and I will put this on there too. And I think for a floor, I will probably do some kind of stripped log, perhaps, perchance. Come back here. Come here. All right, something like that could be a good floor color, I guess. And then all around here, I'm gonna put like books, like big books, probably like 7 block tall books, and just any other knickknacks and stuff. But first, I have to come around and put this down and clear all this out. It's gonna be very tedious, but I think it'll be worth it. It's already, I don't have any ender pearls, so that's not very helpful. I have a whole chest, but putting them in my inventory, well, that's too much to ask of one person, isn't it? I think this curling around here is looking pretty good. I like this spiral. I don't know what I'm doing here or up there, but for now, I'll just focus on what I have. I did put the beacon in the middle, too. If I didn't already mention that, I did it. Good job. Myself. Well, there you have it. Eyeballs done, and granite on the floor, and all the things in. I put gray wool on the other side because I felt like, and there's still some holes, but that's okay, I'll get those later. I felt like if I put this up there too, it would be too much. I've also carried this all the way up to the top. There, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with this part or how I'm gonna blend. I need to do something here, obviously, but I want to start filling in the books and stuff. It's gonna be a little tricky with the corners here, but that's okay. I'll figure it out, I guess. I don't entirely know the best approach for this because there's blocks and I have to make things out of them. But I think if I do something like this, I can make some books, sort of, and then take this, not that, wrong thing, this thing. And that's like the spine? Yeah? I don't know. Does that seem like a book? Doesn't really, does it? Maybe if I put in a few more, it'll be better. Because it'll look in context. I'm gonna try putting in a few more and see what happens then. Well, there you have it. Alright. That actually looks like books. Okay. Great. Fantastic. Alright, I didn't spend all that time wasted. Now over there needs some books. But that's okay. However, I think this does mean that it is the end of the episode. Next time, I want to put, like, I want to do something with this, because this little single tiny beam, it's kind of not really in proportion. I could put some glass around here and make it look like a proper laser. That'd be pretty rad. I don't know. Maybe I also have to figure out how to blend this down into the mountain, because this looks like a disaster. But that is going to be it for today, so good day, Internet, and thank you for watching.